So I need a motion to consider a deficit reduction plan for the school year of 2017 and 2018, providing a minimum of $750,000 in efficiencies, according to Dr. Schilling's report on scenario number 4. The cuts would be regular education program 1 through 8, $240,000. Arts program, $90,000. Music program, $120,000. Industrial arts, $60,000. All sports and clubs, $129,000. Committee curriculum work, $15,000. Learning centers, $25,000. Industrial technology deferment, $27,000. Office assistants, $55,900. Reading specialists, $60,000. Field trips, $6,100, which leaves us, I'm sorry, could you read that number on the bottom for me?
78,000.
Leaving $78,000 at the discretion of administration to apply towards curriculum. Is that more clear?
For what year?
2016.
I'm sorry, not what year. If the referendum passes, or if the referendum fails?
Both. For the
That's where
school
we don't-
year.
That's where we don't agree.
I don't agree
That's
with
the
that.
piece of it that we're not seeing eye to eye, and that's the piece that we need Craig here to be able to clarify for us. Making a decision without having all of the information is
Foolish.
fiscally irresponsible. We have to have the expert here to answer the questions, to be able to make the best fiscal and educational decisions for this district and our students.
Can we read back the motion,
You want me to?
please? No, you're joking. Well, the problem is that we're going out of motion, so we have a motion on the table with that?
We have a motion
I
on the
feel
table.
it should be tabled.
So I have a motion to table it.
Second.
All in favor of tabling it, raise your hand. Table it.
All right.
All right. Discussion on the feasibility study for grade centers. How would you like to modify that one, Warner? Because it's your suggestion.
Okay, so I suggest that we modify the motion to approve hiring STR partners to conduct a feasibility study in grade centers. I would like to add to that. That we combine the work from Dr. O'Malley for curriculum and scheduling. To create a comprehensive plan.
So, just to clarify, this is here, it's on a specific item for architectural services. So if we approve the architectural services, we could give direction to the administration on what we want them to do. Or do you want us to give us direction to the administration first what to do, then approve this?
That makes the most sense.
So what direction, so let's just backwards a bit. What direction would you like us to give the administration to work on? Because there's 3 different components. There's 3 different groups that are working towards this. You have STR working on the feasibility study if it's feasible. Number 2 is that you have Craig Shealy working on the budgetary numbers. And then you have, number 3, you have Dr. O'Malley, his principal, and the scheduling committee working together to put together a schedule and to see if this, how to bring all of this together.
I would like to have a plan to be able to go to grade centers. So I don't want to approve spending the money if we're not going to have a plan, the full plan at the end of this motion. Does that make sense?
You understand what he's trying to say?
So,
I do.
so,
I understand what he's saying.
okay, good. Thank you. So what I'm saying is that what we heard from the community is that we're going to spend money just for a feasibility study. It sounds pretty big. All I want to do is add some verbiage to this saying.
But
that-
STR doesn't do that. We would have to
I
give it to
understand.
them.
I totally understand that. I just want to be able to adjust the motion so that it reads that we're going to add the scheduling, which is probably gonna happen anyway, and the educational component, which I don't know if that's included in that, that's not included. In order to create a comprehensive plan to move the grade centers. I don't know how.
But why wouldn't we start with the scheduling and the educational pieces that we would have to contract out for to see,
Okay.
hold on,
Sorry, I heard you.
to see if this is truly the way that, what if the scheduling committee meets and they say, you know what, scheduling, there is just no way that we can do this, and we're gonna have to go back and we're gonna have to look at 15 other things. Then we have a report from an architect that we paid $8,000 for that we're not gonna be able to use right now. I think we have to use the resources that we have internally, meaning the scheduling department and the educational piece of it, to make sure that those two pieces, along with the architectural, which will get done, because it has to be done to be moved towards grade centers, that those three pieces together will complete a plan that we can then turn around to the community and present. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying, but I think that this is a very, very big piece of the other piece. So
Is it?
that's why
Oh,
I'm
yes.
adjusting the motion.
I think I just don't, it sounds like you're wanting me to do 1, 2, 3, when all three need to move forward
You
simultaneously.
need all of them together.
So
for
that's
the plan.
what's not clear. So, but I just need more clarification. Am I doing the scheduling with respect to scenario 4 or scenario 5 or both? Those are three different questions.
So for
That is
both,
yet to
but
be distinguished.
that'd be in both, but for 6B, it's only, I'm only describing 5, because the grade center is option 5. So I just wanna see a plan.
Right, so you want to see, with respect to what you're saying, you would like to see all three moving forward with respect to scenario 5.
Correct. For 6B, for this motion.
So I'm gonna paraphrase it. So there's three parts of it. What 6B is separate, STR. But right now, to be able to do the scheduling and the financial side of it, and STR, the feasibility study, to put that into one big report.
Sure.
Is that what you're
Is
saying?
that report going to provide us with a comprehensive, cohesive, complete plan to then present to the community, to then move forward with, is my question.
In 2018, 2019.
I think feasibility, not necessarily a full detailed out plan, but if we had that full, exact, everything down to the dot, I don't feel we're gonna do that. I wanna see a high level plan that describes how this is gonna go forward. So, I mean, I don't know how.
That's what I'm
detailed-
hearing. I just want to make sure, because I don't make assumptions. I'm not coming back with something that I assume is correct and then we go on a tangent, because I'm not doing that.
For
So
it to
it's
take
still-
effect when?
Say again?
For it to take effect when?
Well, that's up to you
2018,
guys.
I don't-
I'm
I don't wanna
listening to you
include-
guys.
I'm not-
I've yet
I don't
to
wanna
hear
include that in
exactly
the
what I need to hear.
I don't wanna include a date or
But
a
would
year.
that
I just wanna
impact
have that
the
plan.
feasibility, wouldn't that?
and that would completely impact, I would think, the feasibility if it's something to be done in a year and a half versus something to be done.
Would it? Would that affect the plan?
The feasibility study on the architectural side is really, does it fit? So that, given a relatively flat projection for growth, that shouldn't make any difference over the next 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
20 years out, that answer may not be the same.
But then all the other components of it would be different if it was to be something done in 6 months versus a year and a half.
I don't know, Dr. O'Malley, the other two components, would that change drastically?
Be specific, what are the two components?
So the educational piece, so not the STR's work, but the other work that I was asking to add to the motion, would
Well,
those
it's
drastically change?
a transition plan, so let's just, let's just take a common approach. So you added back the curriculum review cycle, it looks like, that's my understanding. So I think our focus would be on when we're moving into, assuming that we're going with the grade centers, assuming that you're having to do that investigation.
For when though, that's my question.
Well, it could be for next year, it could be for next year or the following year, it doesn't really matter.
That's-
I mean,
The point of the matter
That's
is,
my question.
the point of the matter is your transitions are your transitions, so So, you know, you're gonna have to have a situation where people are gonna be building trust and building relationships. At the same extent, you have an expectation to build a curriculum. They'll be able to do that in their PLCs. So we'll be able to build in the schedule a common time, quite possibly throughout the day, in the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, where people can meet and regularly go over that curriculum. But I got news for you, it's gonna take time for us to get there. It's gonna take time for you to get there. And sometimes the quicker transition may be more painful at the beginning, but you may be able to accelerate working together to build your curriculum. As opposed to you wait, you're gonna be waiting because you're not gonna do the curriculum anyways.
Right.
Because you're gonna be planning into the future to not do the curriculum. And so that may take longer before your curriculum's aligned. So there's a lot of things that basically build to this complexity. And so you have to be really mindful that you know, we can transition. Slow transitions are exactly that, they're slow. But this all comes down to, I think we're missing the point. If it doesn't pass, what are we doing?
Okay, thank you. So,
Because it goes down to, if it does pass, what are we doing, too? I mean, we can't agree on any of it, because we don't have Craig here.
okay, can we,
But at a minimum, I need direction. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, I would advise you not to allocate funds unless you're very specific in what you want me to do. I mean, a gentleman in the crowd understands what I'm supposed to do, but I'm
So-
not clear if I'm supposed to do a scenario 4 or 5, and what exactly scenario 4 or 5 are supposed to look like. Because if you go for scenario 5, I'm assuming that it sounds like you're not going to grade centers in the following year anyway, so why would I build a schedule for that?
okay, so, Servo, how can we adjust number B to 6B?
You can't, because
I'm
there's
talking,
no.
doesn't have to be tabled. How can we adjust the motion?
I would
Motion
leave,
to approve hiring SCR parties to conduct a feasibility study on grade centers.
I would leave that motion exactly the same. I would just let's direct the superintendent to do the other two things that you're asking him to do.
Okay.
And so this way, let's direct it first, and then we could do the feasible. So what would you like the superintendent to do?
Dr. O'Malley, I would like you to put together scheduling for option 5 and add the educational components required to go to grade centers to a plan that, if we approve 6B, will go together to give us a comprehensive plan on how to move to grade centers. Is that okay?
Do I have agreement from the board?
Does all in favor say aye?
No, because,
Wait, question.
right,
But
too.
if we're only doing scheduling for option 5, but we've already voted that if the last week we voted if the referendum fails, we're going with option 4, but
I'm
yet.
sorry, schedule it for 4 and 5.
Okay, thank you, that's where I was.
Sorry,
like,
4 and 5.
Okay.
Sorry.
But
That's what-
you admitted though that, I mean, you said that everything else is going to have to be at a complete standstill in order to do all this.
No, you gotta put it in context. I put it in context. So if you're looking at scenario 5, the likely scenario that I could foresee is you know, there's a culture shock. So having people motivated to write the curriculum, wait a year to write the curriculum is likely the case, because you're gonna be making these transitions, and that's always gonna be in the question. Why should we be writing curriculum when our 8th grade teachers can't even meet? And that's a true statement, by the way. Every meeting I'm at, we don't have time to meet. We tried to Skype, we tried to work for ELA, but we can't meet, we don't have time. Because the PLC team is not built, our time is not built in there. And I hear that redundancy over and over and over. So what I'm telling you is I won't have time for them to meet next year, because how am I gonna find the time? When they don't have the time this year, they didn't have it last year, and they didn't have it a year before. And you can ask any teacher candidly in the middle school if they're doing it. And over I hear this ad nauseum. We don't have time. You don't hear it from the elementary, because the elementary has time to meet. In fact, they meet every day after school, and I've seen them. I've walked. And they're meeting in little pockets over and over and over. So what I'm trying to tell you is you're going to wait another year. Because under scenario 4, you won't have the time to meet. That's the current conditions. So put that in context.
So do those-
If you wait, and it just,
But if
you
you're
don't mind.
needing to do scheduling this weekend, and you know that that's the direction that we may end up in, why wouldn't one of the schedules then be built in to allow this time for the 8th grade teachers to meet?